My favorite thing about empanadas, I'd say, is that I feel like I can make a million different types of edges and shapes. With the dough, you kind of, you're just at liberty of what you kind of want to create. So any future empanadas that we're going to do, they're probably going to have different edges or different shapes to them. When we opened the restaurant, I really wanted to have an empanada that was kind of like what I wanted in my childhood without some of the traditional features of a Chilean empanada. And I kind of came up with this. The minced olive is an ode to my Mexican heritage on my dad's side. But we wanted to do different shapes for the empanadas to kind of show the different flavors. And the triangle is one of my favorite shapes that I remember. It reminds me of home and stuff, of my family's. And Gavin's pretty much our master empanada maker. All the empanadas he makes are absolutely beautiful and consistent. It's a lot of work. It takes some time to get this much onions to caramelize, but we really won't start adding anything into it until they're nice and see-through, nice and golden. If you're cooking the peanut mixer, your clothes will smell like it. Definitely when you go home.
I get told I smell like bread all the time when I get off work.
So what Tomas is doing, he's weighed out the dough into little sections. We're gonna flatten it out until it's kind of like a flat loaf, and we're gonna run it through the dough sheeter. When I first moved to Sacramento, I couldn't find any discos for empanadas, so we started experimenting with making the dough ourselves at home. This before we came up with the idea of doing the bakery. But yeah, a lot of work goes into the dough. It's a labor-intensive process.
I was nervous going into it because I didn't have any previous food experience. It's a lot of fun working in the kitchen, and the empanadas are a lot more fun than I was expecting. The spinach and cheese here is my favorite to fold.
This empanada is kind of an homage to all my family and friends back home that are Cuban. It's a pretty popular pastelito. It's essentially canned guava with our whipped cream cheese. And I'd have to say this is probably one of the more popular empanadas. A lot of people get this with a bagel. It's not too rich. I think it's just sweet enough. Perfect with a cup of coffee. And we're listening to a little Gloria Estefan, which always reminds me of my mom.